Welcome, everybody. I'm Jonathan Mast, and I am thrilled today to have with me the ad guru from Ad Zombies, Ken Moskowitz. Ken and I had the opportunity to actually finally meet in person just a few weeks ago after having collaborated here and there and seen each other online. So, Ken, that was just a marvelous experience. Imagine we'd meet for the first time of all places in Cancun in the middle of July, nonetheless. But what a riot it was. So, welcome. I'm so excited for today. Everybody that's joined us, we're going to talk about AI and personas and that. Ken, for those people that maybe live under a rock and aren't familiar with you, can you give us just a little bit of background and a quick introduction?
Sure. And I'll try to boil it down to the important stuff. I was born in New York City and I was an ad nerd as a kid. When I say I was an ad nerd, I was the kid that didn't want to go to the beach with his family on the weekends. I would spend my weekends in my bedroom with a reel-to-reel tape recorder and a cassette recorder, recording ads off the radio and trying to figure out how they worked and how they got people to do things. So from a very early age, I was just nerding out on advertising. And who knew that it was going to become my career? But I quickly evolved from writing ads in my bedroom to writing ads for a local little bike shop when I was a teenager, to getting into broadcasting, becoming a creative director, then a head of creative for a company, went up the corporate ladder. I've done over 100,000 ads in the 40 years I've been in the advertising industry, 7 Super Bowl ads, and I just love advertising. For me, it's all about creating a message that can move someone from inaction to action and to create an emotional connection and a reaction in them. And so that's kind of the overview of what I do, where I am, and I hope that was sufficient.
Ken, that was awesome. That was awesome. And I know a lot of the people are tuning in because they want to learn more about AI. And you and I, that's one of the passions that we share. You're deep into that. And one of the things I think that's so cool, I've shared with you, I think AI amplifies skill and experience. And you have so much skill and experience in the ad realm. The things you've been able to do with AI just blow me away. And I'm really excited about your ability to share some of that today. We talked a little bit in the title, we talked about the Jetson effect. That actually came from you. Can you tell us a little bit about the Jetson effect and why we decided to call it that for everybody that's joining in?
Sure. So, aside from being an ad nerd, I was born in 1967. So I grew up in the TV era of the Flintstones, Magilla Gorilla, and the Jetsons. And what I loved about the Jetsons is they were this futuristic family where all of this cool technology existed that didn't exist back in the day. But if you look at where we are now, we have a lot of that technology. We have
Yeah.
smartphones, we have robot vacuums, we have microwaves that instantaneously heat food. So all of these inventions that weren't around are today. A lot of them are. We still don't have the flying car, but we're getting close. And so I thought, here we are living in an era of like just all of this cool modern tech. And by the way, I also have Jetson sounds on my phone. So like when I get text messages,
I
it's
love it.
literally the Jetson doorbell. It goes ding, 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 ding. And when my sister texts me, you hear George's car fly by. So I'm into that. And but because they were so advanced and so far ahead of the time in terms of tech, I thought this is the absolute perfect name for this session.
Oh, it was you. You named it well, and of course, you're the ad man, so you're good with that type of stuff. And that, I'm going to kind of turn things over to you, Ken. I know you want to walk through and talk to us about personalizing things with AI, and I know that's one of the biggest struggles I hear, being someone that does AI consulting and coaching and
Yeah.
content creation. Is that's cool, but it doesn't sound like me. And obviously, when we're talking ads and creative, that's a big deal. Talk to us a little bit about that. I'm gonna push off. I know you're gonna share your screen. Tell me where to at, but I'm gonna turn it over to you. You kind of tell me where you want to go, and then we'll
Sure.
continue a conversation as we go through.
Okay, I'll tell you when we're ready to do a screen share, but I will start
Okay.
with this. Before all of these platforms were available, AI wasn't around just a couple of years ago. And so everything was a manual process and a creative
Mm,
process and a powwow. And you'd have to sit down with the team and ideate. And
yes.
oftentimes you would be in these meetings where you just bang your head against the wall because there's no such thing as a bad idea. There are just ideas that aren't going to play well. And
Hmm.
you have to really vet out the good ideas from the not so great ideas and determine what's going to play well. And so sometimes ideation would take a very long time. And so when AI came along, the first thing that I recognized it had value for was speeding up the ideation process. And because now you had a tool that could help you ideate really efficiently and without having to get in a room with 10 people and a whiteboard or a smart board and bounce ideas off of one another. You literally could say, I'm working on a campaign for this. Here are the details. I need 10 ideas, concepts, thought starters,
Mm.
whatever. And it would just vomit out 10 ideas. And I use the word vomit out. I apologize. It's just a
No,
term.
it's appropriate.
Yeah. And that's what it would do. And that was a great place to start. But in the early days of AI, and we still are in very, very early days. So when I
That
say
we are.
early, yeah, when I say early days, please don't get me wrong. I'm talking about like 6 months ago. Okay. But in the early days of AI last year, oftentimes you'd get output if you had it write something that was kind of not human sounding,
Hmm.
a little bit funky, but it was good enough. In fact, I'm going to tell a personal story here about how good enough destroyed one of my businesses.
Ooh,
And
I'd love to hear it.
and so, I have this company, Ad Zombies. We're an at-scale copywriting service for businesses all around the world. We served at our peak, tens of thousands of clients, agencies worldwide. We still serve agencies. But what happened was our lower tier clients, when AI came around, they said, "Why should we pay you guys when I could use this free tool or before it was a paid tool, and it can do pretty okay?" And we literally and this happened just at the beginning of 2023. And
Mm.
as I was watching the revenue slide and watching AI do the damage, because we would get customer feedback using
Sure.
AI, don't need you using it. And you'd think I'd be upset about that. Well, I was, but I wasn't overly upset because I'm able to look at the thing from a 30,000 foot perspective and go, oh, there's an opportunity here. What's the opportunity? I don't know right now. But that continued to happen. And then in May of last year, I was diagnosed with stage 3 rectal cancer. So I'm in the
Mm.
middle of watching AI decimate one of my businesses. I'm now having to deal with this cancer diagnosis. And I'm like, okay, I only have so much bandwidth. I've got to just not worry about this right now. But here was the blessing of cancer. And I know that sounds really weird to say. I had so much time sitting in a recliner with my laptop that I was able to start playing with AI in a non-emotional way. I
Mm.
wasn't sitting there angry at it for decimating my business. I was looking at it as, how do we utilize this tool? How do we take advantage of this new technology in a way that can help our clients speed up what we're doing, all the other things, because I have other companies that this could work in.
Sure.
And how do we pivot, right? Because at the end of the day, AI has disrupted a lot of businesses, a lot of industries, and will continue to do so. So you have to either learn how to utilize AI to your advantage or you die. And so,
100%.
right?
Well,
So we,
and kudos for I mean, how many business owners would do that and take a look at it? I understand maybe you had some extra time on your hands, but I want to commend you on having the mind space to do that. It just reminds me so much of life is not what happens, it's what you make of what happens.
right.
And I
It's
just
the
want to
old lemons and lemonade, theory, right?
yeah,
So that's really where I started to play with AI. Now, today, and Jonathan, if you want to bring up that screen share, today I
sure.
want to talk a little bit about how to train your AI voice. Now, the first AI voice that I trained was using Chat GPT because Claude, first of all, wasn't there yet.
Yep.
Chat GPT was really the first mainstream player. And so the first two projects that I had were for Lockheed Martin and for Berkshire Hathaway, where I trained AI to speak in their voice. Now, to do that at the time was an arduous task. You couldn't copy and paste links. You had to literally get every document that was written properly in their voice and one by one feed it into AI. It was hours and hours and hours to get AI to understand. And then it would like sometimes not hit the mark. In fact, it would often miss the mark dramatically.
So true.
Then AI started to get better because it is a large language learning model, right? So it's constantly evolving. You have to think about what's that movie with the creatures, and the creatures evolve and get smarter over Alien. Do you remember
Hmm.
how Alien would adapt to the human behavior, and it would become smarter and learn over time how people did things, so it would know how to respond and react. Same thing with AI. It's gotten smarter, it's gotten better. Does it scare me? Sometimes it's a little bit
Sure.
yeah, it's amazing how fast it adapts. But recently, as the AI evolution continued, we all know that Claude 3.5 Sonnet came out.
Yeah.
And at first, I was still, I don't want to say stuck in the Chat GPT model. I was just really comfortable there because I had created so many things in that model. And I thought, oh no, now I've got to start utilizing this model. But again, it evolved quick. And as it evolved, I realized the value of Claude for copywriting specifically. And so I've quickly moved to Claude as the primary copywriting tool for anything that needs work from me. Now, for the most part, I would say that copywriting that comes out of Claude by itself, I call it naked writing, meaning it's not trained.
I like
It,
that.
it does a pretty good job for naked writing. But what if you could take your voice, the way you write, the way you speak, the way you advertise or market, and train the model to write just like you, so that literally you could not see a difference between something that you would write yourself and something that AI would write. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do today with Claude, because I think that's so valuable for you, especially if you're a small business owner that maybe a one-person shop or a small solopreneur, agency, or a five-person agency. You've got content, things that you've written, but you're not utilizing AI to do work for you. And you can. So I'm going to get started here, Jonathan, if you're good with that.
I am absolutely good with it. I'm excited. As you know, I've been spending a lot of time learning about personas and all that, and what you showed me down in Cancun blew me away. So I'm excited for you to share this, Ken. Go for it.
Awesome. So first, what I'm going to do, and I'm going to have typos because I make typos, and I'm not going to fix them all the time.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, it is what it is, and we're doing this live, so there's going to be typos. So right now you're looking at a naked Claude. Okay, this Claude has no training. This is just Claude off the shelf, and I'm going to have it write a Facebook ad before I do any training. And Jonathan, I'm going to have you tell me what you want me to write it for.
Okay, sounds good. So let's do this for a chiropractor.
Okay, I'll call it Johnson Chiropractic.
Perfect.
And of Evansville, Indiana. I don't know why I picked Evansville.
That's good.
And I can't spell. See, I told you there'd be typos. Evansville, Indiana. What are we going to say in this? What is the goal for a new patient offer? Give me an idea.
Let's do new patient offer, and that should be good.
Get a free exam and adjustment. I'll do free exam and adjustment, or let's do it not free because nobody wants to do a freebie. Let's do a $29, and I'm just going to use
I like that.
$29 exam and adjustment. The call to action should be book now.
Yeah, let's have them call. Yeah, book now. Exactly. So there's gonna be an online ad. So yeah, we want to do it right through Facebook. Book now.
Okay. Anything else we want to put in there?
I always love humor, but I don't know if we want to go there yet. So you tell me, where do we throw that in, or do we wait for the next step?
Let's see what it does straight naked with
just raw. I like that. Let's do that.
Okay, so write a Facebook ad for Johnson Chiropractic of Evansville, not if Evansville. I promised you typos, didn't I?
It would figure it out. It's okay. Yeah. I do the same thing.
New patients get a $29 exam and adjustment. The call to action should be a book now. Okay, so we're going to have it write this now. And I'm going to copy my prompt because we're going to use that same prompt again. Okay, so here's a draft of the post. New patient special at Johnson Chiropractic. Experiencing back pain or discomfort, we're here to help you feel your best. For a limited time, new patients get a comprehensive exam and adjustment for $29. Expert care in Evansville, Indiana. Personalized treatments, improve your mobility and quality of life. Pretty okay.
Yeah.
It's doing a good job. So now, what if you trained it with a writing style of an individual? So if I said to write this in the style of me, the style, whoops, you literally cannot see my screen, style of Ken Moskowitz.
So that's the benefit of being famous, Ken. It knows who you are.
Yeah, the problem is it doesn't. It's going to
It gets it
try to
wrong?
write
Okay.
this.
Gotcha.
It's going to try to write this. Oh, it is writing it like me. Look at that. So AI already knows me enough to kind of write like me, but it's not trained. So this particular model that I'm using isn't trained. So it has a reference to me somewhere.
Yep.
But it doesn't have a full, but I like how it starts. Is your back screaming louder than a heavy metal concert? That is the way I would start an ad.
That is how you would start an ad. Yeah.
Are you popping pills like they're candy just to make it through the day? So it already has some context. So now, and I'm glad it did that. That was really cool. So now we're going to start a new project. We're going to go to projects. Now I already created one called Write in My Voice, but there's nothing in it. If you guys don't know how to start a project, I'm going to just show you how to do it. Again, you go to the left side, hit projects, and then you're going to create a project. In this case, the project is going to be Write in My Voice. And the goal of this is to train AI to write in the voice. And I'm going to spell my name with ease every time. Now, I don't have to write it that way, but this is what I'm trying to achieve. And I'm going to create the project. So here is the Write in My Voice project. And now it says, okay, how can we help you today? Now you notice there's the left tab and the right tab. It shows you where the custom instructions are. So the first thing I'm going to do is in this panel that says AI training files, what I did is I downloaded 10 of my favorite blogs that I wrote. Now, these are blogs that were not written by AI. They were me sitting in front of my computer or me voice dictating my blog and then going in and editing it. And so I'm going to add these blogs, and these are all 10. One of them is about my first dinner with Gary Vaynerchuk. One is about how I like to offend people with my advertising. One is innovation doesn't always mean starting from zero. So they're all different things. And here's talking about a cannabis ad, a chiropractic thing. All of these little blogs are blogs that I've written. And I'm going to take these blogs and drop them in as knowledge of my content. I'm going to have to upload it this way because it's not, for whatever reason, doing it.
The joys of web browsers, they work half the time and the other half, they just frustrate us. That's all right.
I know. Oh, no,
Well, they're going.
It just took a while. It was a little bit slow. Oh, it exceeded my maximum. So I got to remove some content. See, I love this. It's too large. Well, I don't know how it's too large. These are all kilobyte files. That
is surprising.
Yeah. So obviously, again, here we are in the live world. Obviously, something is glitchy today. 155% of knowledge used. Jonathan, this is an interesting one for me. I don't know how to fix that.
Yeah. The only way I'm aware, Ken, is we're going to have to remove some of the files, unfortunately.
Okay.
So I think we can still share the concept well enough, even if we get rid of a couple of them.
Let's do this. Let's eliminate. I'm going to eliminate as many of it. Here we go. Now we're at, okay, I'm going to just give it 1, 2, 3, 4 blogs. And then here's got a lot of writing. I'm going to give it a book that I wrote. So I wrote a book several years ago called Jab Till It Hurts, How Following Gary Vaynerchuk's Advice Helped Me Build a 7-Figure Brand. And
love it.
I'm going to add that content. Let's see if it goes oversized. Now that book is obviously many, many chapters and perfect. I'm at 93% of the knowledge used. Now I'm going to go back and get that. Now that we have that, I want to get that, write a Facebook ad. And I'm going to have it write this in the voice of Ken Moskowitz. Now, because I'm in the project, it should know that. I'm just telling it to write it in my voice because that's the way I want it to do it. It probably is smart enough to know, but I don't trust it.
Smart, because and Claude is better at this, but ChatGPT in particular, sometimes it will work fine, and other times it seems to be out to lunch. So
Right.
I always think it's important. It's like, Ken, it's like if we're collaborating. If we're collaborating on stuff, I don't want to make too many assumptions. I want to give you that background information. I want to, you may go, "Yep, I got it, Jonathan," but it's still good to remind each other. It's always good to remind AI.
Correct. Now, here's an interesting thing. I skipped a step, which I usually do, which is analyze. So I have it analyze so
I
it
was
can.
going to ask you about that.
Yeah. And so I skipped the step because I wanted to see what it did without analyzing the voice. It did a pretty good job. So, "Hey there, Evansville, is your back acting up? Neck feeling stiff? Well, I've got just the thing to put spring back in your step and a smile on your face. Johnson Chiropractic is offering new patient deal that'll make your wallet feel as good as your spine. For just $29, you can get a full exam and adjustment." That's right, $29 to say goodbye to those aches and pains. Now, I know what you're thinking. Spanky, that sounds too good to be true. But trust me, folks. And so look at this. It says the voice of Ken Moskowitz, but it knows my nickname is Spanky. Isn't that interesting?
I was just going to say, was that in your document? Because you hadn't shared that anywhere yet, Ken.
It's in my blogs and it's in my book.
Okay.
And so therefore it picked up on that, right? So I never told it, put my nickname in there. It just knew, it picked it up from those docs. So it trained, oh, that's his nickname and people call him that. But trust me, folks, this is the real deal. Dr. Johnson and his team are the real McCoy when it comes to getting you aligned and feeling fine. So why wait? Is your back going to fix itself? And Netflix marathons aren't going to aren't doing you any favors. Take the leap, click that book now button, and get ready to experience life without the constant companionship of pain in the neck. Remember, new patients, it's just $29 for an exam and adjustment. That's less than the cost of a fancy dinner, and it'll do a lot more for your health. Don't let another day go by feeling less than your best. Book now and let Johnson Chiropractic work their magic. Your future pain-free self will thank you. That is taking my knowledge, or my voice, not my knowledge, my voice, and putting it into an ad that I would write. Now, I would not write an ad necessarily in my voice for a client, because clients don't want my voice. What they want is whatever the voice of their brand is,
exactly,
and with some advertising skill behind it. So I'm going to start a new Claude, and I can't give this to people, but I'm going to show you what I do. I'm going to start a new project, and I'm going to get rid of, I have two projects named the same thing. I'm going to create a project, and this project's going to be called My 40-Year Bible. I'll tell you why I call it a 40-year Bible. I've basically taken 200 of my best ads that I've ever created, and I've put it into a copywriting Bible that trains AI how to write in various styles for various ads. And what I do is I will tell it to analyze, this, which it already did, and learn how to write like me. So now I want to do a different ad. And Jonathan, I want to go crazy this time.
Okay.
I want to make it like really have to work. So let's think out of the box and give it something completely different. And by the way, Jerry, I saw your question. While you're ready to fill in the blanks for me, Jonathan, Jerry, you said, what if I don't have this amount of copy? I will tell you, if you don't have that amount of copy, what you need to do is start writing some stuff in your own voice, because you can't train the AI to write like you unless you give it enough examples. One blog or two blogs aren't going to be enough contextually. And I'll give you an example of this. Recently, a friend of mine, Pamela Hughes, who is a coach, a life coach, she came from the broadcast arena. She's an incredible writer. She worked as a news talk show host, right? She's got a lot of depth and knowledge, and she's an incredible writer. She had a ton of content available to her and could never get AI to write like her. And I said, Pamela, take your best blogs, take your best podcast episodes, take your best, all of this stuff, take the transcriptions and drop them in. So if you have a podcast, for example, Jerry, you can have AI transcribe the words from your podcast and then drop those words into AI where it will learn to speak like you. Right? Yes, Amy, you can use email. Sorry, Jonathan, I'm just going right into
No, this is good because I wanted to mention this, Ken. So this is great. Go ahead.
Amy, you can use emails. If you've written emails, and I'm just looking over here to see the chat, you can absolutely save them as PDFs, upload them to Claude. And obviously, there's this product knowledge size restriction, which I've not had a problem with until today because we're doing it live. But you can absolutely do that.
And on that, Ken, I think it's important. No, I think it's two things. They just updated one of these the other day. It's number of files and size of files, and you can go over on either. And I'm betting when we uploaded the multiple small files, we probably went over on the number of files. But if you'd combine those into one, we probably could have uploaded them all.
Correct. I agree. So now what I'm going to do is using my 40-year writing Bible. In fact, Jonathan, can I go to because I'm not going to. Well, you know what?
Yeah,
we'll leave the screen just like this.
You can go to however you want.
I would like you to tell me what we're going to have AI write, and I want you to go crazy. Like I want it to be detailed, and I want it to have subtlety, and I want to let AI do its thing based on that. I just uploaded my 40-year copywriting Bible.
Well, are we going to stay with chiropractor, or are we changing where we're at?
Whatever. Just go.
Okay.
Go nuts.
Let's stay with chiropractor, but this time I want to say that I'm a vegetarian specialist who believes in deep tissue massage combined with chiropractic care.
Okay, hold on. For chiropractor that specializes in vegan care or vegetarian care.
Let's call it. That's all right. Vegan. Let's say vegan care is fine.
Vegan patient care.
There we go.
Oh my God, I really can't type today.
That's all right. I gave you something odd. And then let's say combined with deep tissue massage. And how crazy do we want to go? Do we want to go crazier?
Dr. Johnson does deep tissue massage.
And how about we say mustard therapy?
And mustard aroma.
Ooh, there we go. I love it.
For healing sniff deficiency.
I love it. I can't spell deficiency, so you're better than me.
Oh my gosh. I am really struggling today.
That's okay.
Disorder. Okay.
I love this. This is great.
Now remember, I've got 200 ads in this 40 years of ad copywriting. It's a very large file that I boiled down to a PDF. It's not really that big. It's 539 kilobytes, but it's got pages and pages of advertising in there. And so it's going to, Instagram ad for print on demand website. I can make one for you. What is that? Woodcrafter?
Woodcrafter in your pocket. Yeah. He's on YouTube. Yep.
I'm going to make one for you next. I'm literally going to do that. So what I want you to do, Woodcrafter, is put the specifics in the chat, and I'm going to copy and paste that into my copywriting. Okay, let's do it.
That is so generous, Ken. That's awesome. That's amazing.
It's fun.
Woodcrafter, way to have the guts to ask. You're going to get the ad man to write you an ad. That's amazing.
And this is the AI that I use when I want to write copy really quickly. That comes from my experience. So I'm not writing it in my voice. I'm writing copy for clients using this, AI model that I've trained. Okay. And I'm just training it right now and going to write. So we're going to write a viral ad for a chiropractor that specializes in vegan patient care. Dr. Johnson does deep tissue massage and mustard aromatherapy for healing sniff deficiency disorder. Make a version for Facebook, I'm going to make it crazy, a version for Instagram, and one for LinkedIn. I have no idea.
Wow.
I have no idea if it's going to spit out all three, but let's go. Are we ready?
Claude should, but if we did it in ChatGPT, I can promise you we'd have some problems. But Claude, I bet will do it. Let's go.
I'm going to hit the button. Oh, God, here we go. I'm actually nervous.
Nothing like being live. This is the benefit of going live.
Okay, now it's going to start thinking because it
It's
first has to review.
contemplating that. I haven't seen that one before, Ken. That's good. It's now contemplating. Wow. All
All
right,
right,
here we
here's
go.
the Facebook version. Calling all plant-powered warriors. What is this thing that it's doing?
That is, it's actually coming up with there. Oh, it's actually decided to give you the ad visual. Look at that.
That's funny. Okay, but let me read it. I'm going to close this.
Yeah, there we go.
Calling all plant-powered warriors. Are your chakras misaligned from all that kale crunching? Fear not. Dr. Johnson, the vegan vertebrae virtuoso, is here to save your spine and your sinuses. Folks, this is exactly how I would write the ad. Like you would, when you look at that word, the alliteration of vegan vertebrae virtuoso, that is exactly my style of wacky, weird, creative. Deep tissue massage, so good you think you're being tenderized for a Buddha bowl. Mustard aromatherapy to clear your passages faster than sriracha. Chiropractic adjustments gentler than oat milk, stronger than tempeh. Suffering from sniff deficiency disorder will have you smelling roses and nutritional yeast in no time. Book now and get a free wheatgrass shot because nothing says I love my spine like wheatgrass in a glass.
This is awesome.
Now, here's the next one. So the caption it gives you. Kale, yeah, your vegan-friendly spine savior has arrived. Dr. Johnson's got the magic touch for all you plant-based peeps. Cruelty-free cracks, sinus-clearing mustard therapy, deep tissue massage. We go deeper than your love for avocados. Suffering from sniff deficiency disorder will fix your sniffer faster than you can say nutritional yeast. Double tap if you're ready to align your spine with your values. And now the LinkedIn version, you notice immediately it removes the emojis because it knows that LinkedIn's not the greatest platform for emojis. And now it's going to dial down the voice. Innovative vegan-focused chiropractic care, bridging the gap in plant-based healthcare. Totally different feel.
Oh, yeah. Incredible.
Are you a health-conscious professional seeking alignment between your values and your wellness routine? Look no further than Dr. Johnson's pioneering vegan-friendly chiropractic practice. Like that, folks, is what I'm talking about. Now, I've trained it in two things now, right? I'm going to just skip out of this for a second. I've trained it in writing in my voice, okay, which is writing like me. So if I wanted it to write a blog post about appearing on stage at TCS that's the conference that Jonathan and I were just at in Cancun, Mexico. And how awesome it was to teach people how to make a Facebook ad. Excuse me, a Facebook ad. See, I got Facebook on my mind. A Super Bowl ad for any business. Now, I'm giving it very little to work off of, okay? But it knows my voice. So it should be able to write a blog post for me. Do we want to give it some specifics about how many words, Jonathan?
If we're doing blog posts, let's try to get, 750 to 800.
All right, let's go crazy. Let's see if it can do 1,000 words.
Oh, there we go.
With just the limited information I gave it.
I can tell folks while you're doing this, Ken, without information, there is absolutely no way it's going to write 1,000-word blog post. It might get 500, 600, but with the context, that may actually help it get there. So this is really cool.
All right. Lights, camera, Cancun, teaching Super Bowl ad creation at TCS. When I received the invitation to speak at Traffic and so it doesn't know that TCS is not Traffic and Conversion Summit, right? So it's made its first mistake. I was thrilled. But when I learned my topic would be teaching attendees how to create a Super Bowl worthy ad for any business, I was over the moon. Now, contextually, it's wrong. I came to them and said, here's what I'm going to be teaching, right? But arriving in Cancun, I was immediately struck by the beauty of the location, crystal clear waters, white sandy beaches, and the palm trees swaying in the breeze. It was postcard perfect. But I wasn't there to sip margaritas by the pool. Well, not entirely. I had work to do. So this paragraph right here is me. This paragraph is 100% me. And I was over the moon as someone who spent decades in advertising and marketing. The chance to share my expertise on such a grand stage was a dream come true. Kind of like me. But again, I didn't give it a lot of context, right? So understand that the more context you give it and the more detailed instructions you give it in terms of writing, the better off it is. So I could have taken for example, if I wanted it to really write about my time on stage, I could take the audio file of my keynote,
Hmm.
turn that into a transcript, take the transcript, drop it in, and then have it write a blog post about my presentation, and it would nail it 100%. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So going back to the project, and I'm jumping around because I want to go back to
This is good. This is good.
I want to see if we have our Woodcrafter in your pocket stuff. Do we have it yet?
They just said it was in their Etsy, so all we've got is it's Linda, and we don't. All she did is it's a pups style, PUPZ style Haven Etsy shop. I'm going to go see if I can find that real quick.
All right, if you can give me the link, I'm going to have it write the ad for us in real time. By the way, if anybody else wants like Amy, I know you love alliteration. In fact, watch this, Amy. I'm going to, while Jonathan is looking for the link, I'm going to do something. I want to write an ad for, let me just see, Amy Valentine. I have no idea what you do, Amy, but I love your name, Valentine. Amy Valentine, using as many alliterations as possible. Amy is a Facebook user.
She said her website is Wicked Website Designers, if that helps.
Oh, okay. Hold on. And Wicked Website Designers. Hold on. I'm going to go in another window here since I've got 3 monitors. Can you tell I nerd out on this stuff? Okay. Wicked Website Designers. All right. This is where I wish Claude had the ability to take a link from a website.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to get there. I'm convinced it will, because it's the one glaring thing it's missing.
Amy owns Wicked. Don't worry about my typos. Website designers. I've copied a few things from the business, and let's just see what it does. Okay. So it's going to write an ad for Amy using as many alliterations as possible. Amy owns Wicked Website Designers, and I copied and pasted some stuff from the website. I didn't go deep. I just took it from the homepage. That was it. Let's see what it can do with this and see how much alliteration it can give us. Alluring Amy's Valentine's astounding ad. Wonderful Wicked Website Wizards. Wow, what a with a winning web wonders. Attentive Amy's adept agency amplifies awesome achievements. Boldly boost your brand's brilliant beacon. Wicked Website Designers deftly delivers dazzling digital displays, cleverly crafting captivating content, converting curious clickers to committed clients. It's hard to say all that, but you see what it can do. Like, it's pretty amazing. Harness heroic high caliber help. Discover delightful digital designs destined to dominate. Anyway, sorry, I've been playing around with this because that's what I do. And Amy, if you'd like this, I can just copy and paste it and drop it in the chat. How's that? Oh, and thank you, Jonathan. I see those links. And but you can just get a sense of what it does. Thank you for that link. All right, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to grab that link.
Grab that second one if you can, Ken. That should go right to a product that she has on her Etsy shop.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to take that product.
Doesn't look like it's working, though. Looks like I pasted the wrong link.
Oh, yeah. No, it's taking me to the full shop.
Yeah. Search for adorable, if you would. And then it will bring up a positively adorable shirt that she wants a ad written for.
Okay. Adorable.
It should pop it right up.
No, because I
Thanks
failed.
everybody for letting us go do this live. This is so amazing that Ken is willing to do this. I'd love your feedback. If you guys think this is valuable while Ken's looking at this, would you guys give me a 1 in the comments? In other words, we've got a lot of people online watching right now. If this is helpful, even if it's not for your ad, if seeing how Ken's doing this is helpful, throw Ken some love and give us some 1s in the comments. That would be absolutely amazing.
So do we want a new product description or a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad?
Let's see here what we've got. Anything you can tell us on that? I think it was it trying to check names? Linda. Yeah, Linda, can you tell us what type of ad you're looking for?
I'm dropping in all the information.
Tons of 1s. There's so many 1s coming in. It's hard to keep track of all the comments. That's great. Obviously, that's working. Let's just go ahead and pick one, Ken. We'll run maybe a Facebook ad.
Okay, we're going to do a Facebook ad.
I think she'd asked about an Instagram ad, actually. That was it. Yep.
Great. We'll make it for IG. Instagram ad for, I'm going to write, don't worry about it. I'll fix my typos in a second. For this adorable shirt.
Linda just said she's looking for one that'll make sales.
Okay. The goal of the ad
so important, guys,
to convert first-time viewers into instant buyers. Why am I telling it that?
Because now we can do it. Yeah.
Correct. There are ads that generate brand awareness. Okay. So I'm gonna do a quick brand awareness thing for you. And I know I can't hear you, but you can just shout at the computer when I ask you this. Okay. If you had hemorrhoids, what product would you go buy?
Preparation H.
Thank you. Preparation H, because it is the hemorrhoid cream that is so well branded. Jonathan, if you had to go buy something else, what would you buy?
I have no idea.
Right. It's not the product that you can go, oh, I know the second best, right? Everybody knows Prep H. If you had a cut on your finger and had to wrap it to protect it, what would you put on it?
A Band-Aid, of course.
Right. And a Band-Aid is not the product. It's the brand. It's a bandage. And so you confuse the brand and the product because they're so well branded, right? Again, so that's brand awareness. Nike has never run an ad with a price point. And I'll do one more with you. If you had to blow your nose because you had a cold, what would you use?
I'm going to use a Kleenex.
Which is a tissue. It is not Kleenex. Kleenex is the brand. So Nike folks never runs an ad, nor have they run an ad in their 50 plus years of experience advertising with a price point, a buy now, nothing. Yet they are one of the largest athletic footwear brands in the world because their brand awareness is so incredibly high. So you can create brand awareness that isn't designed to drive immediate sales. You can create first-time awareness that moves people down your pipeline, or you can create an ad with the intended goal of trying to get a first-time viewer, like a cold audience, to instantly buy your thing. But if you don't tell AI that that's your intended goal, it's going to just write the ad the way it thinks it's best written.
It's going to make an assumption. And we know what happens when we assume, right? Same thing happens with AI.
Correct. So here we go. I've said, write an Instagram ad for this adorable shirt. The goal of the ad is to convert first-time viewers into instant buyers. And all I did was copy the description and the about this item. So that's all I've given it. Okay. Nothing else. And now we're going to let it write. And again, it's got my 40 years of advertising behind it. So it's going to start to calculate and figure out what it's doing. I have no idea why it's doing this. That's okay. We'll close it out. Oh, it's creating the visual.
Yep. It's for whatever reason it's decided, because we said an ad, it's trying to create that visual for Instagram.
Okay. So Schnauzer lovers unite, introducing the positively adorable t-shirt. Why you need this tee right now? Triple the cuteness with 3 adorable Schnauzers. Hearts and flowers for extra awe factor. Premium 100% cotton for ultimate comfort. Unisex design, perfect for everyone. Limited time offer. Get 15% off with code SCHNAUZERLOVE.
I love it.
Don't let this puppy love slip away. Take a link, tap the link in our bio to grab yours before they're gone. P.S. makes a pawsome gift for any dog lover in your life. So it just like wrote something. Now I could say, watch this. I'm going to have it modify it. Make it less cutesy. Now this is where I'm going to get really not specific, but give it very different instructions and more viral. So a viral ad is going to be a more amplified sounding ad. It's going to have a lot more energy to it when you read it. Make it less cutesy and more viral. And again, I'm going to wait till it's done trying to generate visuals because we don't want you for visuals. That's what we use Midjourney for, people. Attention, Schnauzer Squad. You scrolling Instagram, this shirt, I'm about to end this person's whole budget. Tag a Schnauzer obsessed friend who needs this shirt. If they don't reply in 5 minutes, you have to buy it for them. I don't make the rules. Hot take. If your wardrobe has fewer Schnauzer items than your dog has outfits, you're doing it wrong. Proof or it didn't happen. Post a pic in this t-shirt with Schnauzers before humans for a chance to win a matching bandana for your fur baby. Drop Schnauzer letter by letter in the comments. Last to finish without being interrupted wins 20% off. Swipe up to join the Schnauzer shirt cult revolution. Limited stock, unlimited sass. P.S. Your Schnauzer told us you want this. Don't let them down. That's what it did.
That's amazing. And tell me, if you're a Schnauzer lover and you see that ad, you're going to read it. You're going to look at this shirt and you're probably going to buy it.
Yeah, it creates a different feeling instantly. So I hope that that helps.
That was amazing, Ken. That was absolutely amazing.
Awesome.
I mean, you always blow me away. It was just like down in Cancun. I mean, you just blew me away with the things you shared. This is at that same level. This is awesome.
But again, you have to train it. You know, an untrained AI is like giving a kid a bicycle and telling him to ride it. You can't do it unless you first start with the training wheels, right? The basics of training. And then after it's got the basics, you can subtly give it more and nuance. And so, for example, if I were to write with completely virgin AI, and it has, naked AI, has no experience, doesn't know anything, it's going to use words that I don't use.
Absolutely.
And I would never use some of the words. So you have to train it and say, I don't use this word. Instead of that word, I use this word. And but you can do that over and over again, and it takes lots of time to train. If you feed it content that you've created, it doesn't do that because it now has context. It understands. So if I were to ask it, Jonathan, if we can go back to the screen for a second, thank you very much. I'm going to go back to my projects, and I'm going to go right into my voice, and I'm going to ask it a question because it has the context of my book and several blog posts. And I'm going to ask it, what is the voice and style of Ken Moskowitz? Now, I'm guessing it's going to say a little bit of humor, self-deprecating. It might say witty, very personal, intimate. I'm thinking about what it's going to say, so I'm going to ask it. And let's see what it does. Conversational and casual tone. He writes very informal, conversational styles, as if he's speaking directly to the reader, because that's the way I write. Uses contractions, colloquialisms, and occasional swear words. That is absolutely effing true. Passionate, enthusiastic, direct and blunt. Storytelling, motivational, humorous, practical, repetitive, reiterates key points and mantras multiple times for emphasis. Authentic, metaphorical, fast-paced. Jumps quickly between topics and ideas, mirroring his energetic personality. I did that exact thing on this today because it's the way my brain works. So once it understands your voice, it can write very consistently all the time for you. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, it does. Well, and I want to reiterate, Ken, one of the things you said earlier that makes so much sense and is so important. If you don't have all this content, find video that you've done. Go ahead if you need to. Have it, go record a conversation with you selling what you do, talking about what you do, with your expertise, with you being you. That is where you're going to end up with so much value. And it's so much easier than trying to, no, don't say this, and don't say this, say this. Upload that information. Again, you can upload the text of it. It will learn so much from that.
Correct. And Stephanie just asked a question or said she had an idea. If we don't really have a lot of samples of our writing, could we ask AI to
Mhm.
interview us to get our communication style? You absolutely can. And I'm going to show you something, Stephanie. And for anyone who's watching this is the easiest way. If you don't have a lot of content, or whether it's written, podcast, whatever, and you need to start from zero, here's what I would do. Something like this. I need you to learn to write in my voice. Interview me. Interview. Yeah. Come on, Moskowitz. Me. And ask whatever questions you need to get my voice, style, etc. Don't worry about my typos. It's smart enough. And now it will say, how would you describe your overall communication style? It literally asks the questions. So
Mhm.
you can then fill in the blanks and go from there. Like if I had any favorite words or phrases, I couldn't do that on this live because it would be offensive to a lot of you. Remember, I'm a New Yorker. Like, there's a few words in our vernacular that it's just, it's okay for us, but not for the rest of America. Or the world for that matter. But this is a great way to get AI to understand your voice. And the other thing you can do, if you have a journal, and I don't mean a personal journal where your deepest secrets are, but if you have a journal of like your daily stuff, oftentimes that's written in your writing voice. You're not going to change your writing style to write your journal. And so you can take
Exactly.
right? So you can take that journal and let's say it's written in a form that you can't easily get into Claude. You can take that journal, and the way I would do it is I would take a photograph of it with your phone, use the optical character recognition. Then it becomes a document. Then you copy and paste it. Like there's lots of ways to do that to get your voice in. It doesn't require a ton of work.
So good, Ken. So good. Just amazing. Oh man,
Thank you.
I can't believe how fast this hour has flown by. I mean, just the incredible value in here that you shared has been unbelievable. So the other day, Ken, I saw that you had made a post that I know we had a couple questions. Linda asked, Stephanie asked, a couple other people asked about how can they learn how to do this. You made a post the other day about this, if I'm not mistaken. Did you not?
So I made a post about how to get it to write in your voice, but so recently, so there's a few things. Remember, I'm playing in the AI space all around. Like the other day, Jonathan, I think I shared with you, I had a bunch of Mid-Journey prompts, like cheat sheet for Mid-Journey,
Yeah,
and
I'm going to actually throw that up because you have that right on your Ad Zombies thing, right?
yeah, I do. But
Okay.
the other day, so there were two things. The other day, I was talking about how to get AI to write in your voice, and I think if there you need nothing else but to do these steps. Like literally, you know how people say, "Oh, I'm going to tell you everything," and then they tell you like this much. No,
Yes.
this is how you train AI. The more you can give it, the better it's going to get. And there's no secret sauce beyond what I'm showing you to get it to learn your voice. Now, the more you give it, the better it's going to get. So please, please, please don't give it 3 pieces of content and say, it's not writing like me. Well, it's not because it doesn't have enough. It needs to understand the nuance and subtlety of your voice. But so if you have questions, by the way, and Jonathan, I do this intentionally when I'm on. If you guys ever have questions about branding, advertising, and marketing, because I've been in the game for 40 years, that QR code behind me, you can scan that and you can ask me directly a question. I literally have an ask me anything. So you can just scan that QR and send me a question and I will answer it. It can video yourself asking me the question and I'm happy to answer it for you.
That is amazing. Ken, thank you so much for that offer. Guys, if you didn't catch that, go ahead, grab your phone. I'm doing it right now on mine. If you guys can see, I'll actually hold it up. You can see, scan up, put it in, get everything there, grab that link off that QR code. Mine's doing it right off the screen, and you will get a direct link over to Ken, which is so incredibly cool. Ken, thank you for that. That's amazing.
No worries. I'm happy
That is
to
absolutely
share that.
amazing.
And for
Wow,
those
that is so cool.
isn't yeah, so it brings you to a page where you can video ask me a question. And because I want to be able to help people, I've been at this a really long time. I've worked with some of the world's biggest brands. I just did a campaign for Tampax. I know, 57-year-old guy doing tampon ads, but this is my thing, right? This is my specialty. So, if you have questions, certainly ask away. I'm happy to answer them.
So cool. So cool. Let's see if we got any other questions coming up in the chat here real quick. Otherwise, we'll start wrapping up. Some very positive feedback coming in, Ken. Just absolutely amazing. So you said a cheat sheet code. Is that the Midjourney thing that I just put up?
Yeah. So the Midjourney thing. Could we go back to screen share for a second?
Absolutely, we can.
All right. And I'm going to just show you this because I'm on a Mac. It's easy. So oftentimes when we're doing, and by the way, I am not an expert in Midjourney, right? My first set of skills is in the written word, but haven't we all been frustrated by the output of visuals as well? And so I started learning and honing my skills to become a better visual creator as well. This is 2024. We have to know how to do lots of things and learn these platforms because they're going to be tools that help us grow. And
Absolutely.
so I created a cheat sheet for people using Midjourney so that we can stop getting crappy images. And so like this cheat sheet, let me pull it up here real quick. This cheat sheet gives you all the prompt formulas you would ever need, the styles, the depth of field, color grading, photography effects, all the different variables you could use, the lens types, the shot types. This is all in a Midjourney cheat sheet to help you kind of make images that look better. So for example, before Midjourney's cheat sheet, if you wanted a realistic image of a desk in an office, you would get an image that like what you see on the left. My cheat sheet, and Jonathan, I gave you that cheat sheet the other day. You saw it.
You did. Guys, I can give you a testimony. You need this cheat sheet. This is the absolute best Midjourney cheat sheet I have ever seen. You guys know I'm a huge Midjourney fan. I do tons of it. Ken and I have actually been going back and forth since Cancun, sharing images that we've been creating. Yeah. I'm a Midjourney. Ken gets this. This is an amazing resource, guys. Make sure you go grab that.
So this Midjourney cheat sheet will allow you to create images that look like that because you now have the language to set the right parameters to get your visuals the way you want them. And I've done this multiple times. There's the before on the left and the same prompt on the right with knowing how to manipulate the image. And that's what the cheat sheet's for. And I made it so that anybody can afford it. It's $10. It's not crazy expensive, but that way you've got this tool that you can use every time you make a prompt.
So incredibly cool. Cool. Yes, Linda, that is the link at the bottom for the Midjourney. Brings you right to that cheat sheet that Ken's talking about. So awesome. So cool. So cool. Ken, I cannot thank you enough for the time that you've put in today, for so freely offering and sharing your information. This has truly been one of the best sessions we've ever done here, and I'm so thrilled. We had, by the way, I think we broke a record. We had over 150 some people register, so I think that's a new record. We'd love to make that 1,500, but we're happy with 150. So I'm really excited about that. Just want to thank you for your time. Thank you. I want to encourage everybody. Ken is one of the most gracious people I've met. Like I said, we met online. We had the opportunity to meet then in Cancun about 3 weeks ago, I guess now. Ken continues to blow me away. And I mean that with his knowledge and the depth that he brings in. Again, AI is about amplifying skill and experience. And you saw today here in real time how just some simple changes really make a dramatic impact on the results that you get. And I hope that was tons of value for you guys. So appreciate that. Ken, any words of wisdom as we part company for the day?
Yeah. My final words are, don't be afraid of bad output. Just train it until you get what you want, because people give up really easily and go, this is ridiculous and I'm not going to get anything out of it. Just keep training it. When you train it, it's just like your dog. The first time your dog has an accident in the house, you don't give up on the dog. You keep working with it, right? You give it treats when it goes outside. Just keep working with your AI. It will get better and better to where it becomes a valuable resource you can't function without.
Mm. Truer words have not been said today. That is so true, guys, and a great example. Ken, thank you again from the bottom of my heart for sharing so with us. That's amazing, guys. Do Ken a favor if you would online. If this was valuable, go on. What's the best platform to tag you on? LinkedIn or Facebook? What do you
Facebook,
care?
Facebook is
Okay.
great. You know, LinkedIn. I'm on every platform. So
Well, go out
wherever
there,
you
guys.
are, I am.
Tag Ken and just give him a big thank you because he took up his time to join with us. This was actually his idea. I'd love to say it was my idea, and I approached it, but it was actually Ken's idea. So this is just absolutely amazing. Ken, thank you so incredibly much. We're so grateful for you and just thrilled. And oh, by the way, check out his personal profile if I don't know if you've got room for more friends, but Ken makes the absolute best looking bagels that I have ever seen. I was just sharing with Ken before the call. I've been on a no carb diet for about 16, 17 months, lost almost 100 pounds. It's working.
Right.
But Ken made bagels the other day and shared pictures and tons of them. And Ken, those had to be the best looking bagels I've ever seen. Oh
Well,
my goodness.
Jonathan, I will tell you, as a New York born Jewish kid, I grew up, my grandmother was an incredible baker. She couldn't cook worth anything, but I mean, like she would burn water, but my God, she could bake. And so baking became a therapeutic thing for me as an adult. And I love baking for my family. I bake all sorts of breads. I literally have on my phone a folder that's just bread porn. And literally, that's what I call it, bread porn. And it's everything I've ever baked. I bake bagels, I make challah bread, I bake dinner rolls, you name it. And it's just something that I really get great joy out of. In fact, tonight, my business partner is coming over with his wife because her sourdough starter died. So she's getting some of mine.
Oh,
And
that is so amazing.
yeah, I do love baking. And right now I'm putting the finishing touches on my first ever baking book for kids. And the reason I did that book is I don't know if you could tell from our conversation today, people, but I'm a little bit ADD. And so
Welcome to the club.
thank you. Most cookbooks, I think most entrepreneurs are, most cookbooks are not really ADD compliant. What I mean by that is recipes for me don't generally work because there are steps that are out of sequence for the way my brain works. So I decided to create a book that would work for me, and I quickly realized this is a great book for kids to bake with because I simplify everything. I break it down. So I'm about 2 months away from having the book out there, and it's going to be called Bread Time Stories, and
Wow.
it's a kids baking book.
No, so Stephanie's asking, are the bagel recipes going to be in there?
The bagel recipes are not. However, I'd be willing to share my bagel recipe with your community, Jonathan. If you want me to do that, I'd be happy to.
Who would like that, guys? Give me. Let's go for twos this time. Who wants the bagel? I know I do. I'd love to have the bagel recipe. Stephanie, I know you already asked for it. That would be amazing, guys. Thank you, Ken. That's an amazing offer. Thank you so much again for your time. I appreciate it. Twos are just flooding in. This is so cool. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Guys, have a fantastic weekend. Make sure to catch the replay. Ken drops so much value in here. And if you've got any questions, remember, head over to the Facebook group. A lot of you are part of it. If you're not, I put the link up earlier. Join the Facebook group. We cover stuff in there. We'd be happy to share with you. Make it a great weekend, everybody.